Howdy again, folks. Friendly Neighborhood State Trooper Lewis. Thanks for joining me, because if you didn't know, this has been, we're actually in the middle of National Public Safety Telecommunications Appreciation Week, which is a big mouthful that can be summed up in 2 words. Dispatchers rule. Because the big thing about it is, we talk about all the time about the thin blue line and the thin red line and all the other lines that are out there. And yeah, they're all important. Don't get me wrong, being a part of that. But there's one thing that unites all of us, one thing we all have in common, and that's the thinnest line of them all. And that's the thin gold line. That's the one thing that we can all say that we agree on. And there's a reason it's a gold line. Because on the other end of that line is always going to be somebody there to pick up. And it's men and women that are highly trained, highly experienced, and if they're not experienced, they get experienced real quick. People who have to get information in a heartbeat, in the blink of an eye, in order to be able to dispatch the proper resources to whatever situation is going on. And that can be an incredibly difficult job to do, because they have to do it through fear, through panic, through anger, through yelling, through confusion. Somebody's lost, or maybe even worst of all, silence on the other end of that line. They have to be able to dispatch us. And as much as we talk a big game about being the thin red line, being the thin blue line, being the first responders on scene, yeah, we may be the first people on scene, but the true first responders are the ones with the headset, the ones who are actually getting those phone calls and being able to get that information. Those are the true first responders that we're dealing with. Those are the ones that we're trying to celebrate this week. And we're going to introduce you to some of them. Now, remember I said that it was a thin gold line? If you've ever talked to anybody, any first responder, anybody who's touched a radio before, anybody who's ever had to dial 911, ask them what the sweetest voice they've ever heard in the world was. And I guarantee you, they will tell you it's the person that picked up and said, "Help is on the way." That is a voice of gold. So in a second, we're actually going to go into our Denver Regional Communications Center, which is the Denver dispatch for the Colorado State Patrol. We actually have 5 regional centers and 1 other communications center in the Colorado State Patrol all across the state. Now, I don't want to limit this just to our folks, because frankly, anybody who's ever put on the headset, ever answered the phone, ever worked dispatch, you're a hero first and foremost, and we want to thank you for that. But we're going to introduce you to some of the folks who are actually in there working as we speak. Now, they're expecting me. There's no major crisis, we hope, going on. We're going to do our best to make sure there's no private or sensitive information happening. And because they are telecommunications officers, like small deer and bunnies, they frighten easily at loud noises. So I'm going to try and keep my voice down a little bit so they don't run away or hide underneath the desk, which, you know, they're used to not seeing sunlight for weeks or days at a time anyway. But, you know, that or I'm trying to be professional. You know, pick one. But either way, we're about to go inside, and I will introduce you to Miss Tina. Tina is our regional manager, and yes, she actually acts just like Michael Scott, so by all means, compare her to that. She's actually going to give you a little information, and we're going to answer a few questions about what it is they do here, what you can do if you ever unfortunately need to call in, and how to get information out and what's going on. So welcome, Tina. What's happening today?
What's going on, Colorado? What's happening, Facebook? So welcome to the CSP Denver Regional Communications Center. We're one of 5 regional communications centers in the state of Colorado. We cover about 40% of our overall work volume. So 22 counties, the Denver metro area, the eastern plains of Colorado, so from the Wyoming state line to Monument Hill, from the Eisenhower Tunnel to the Kansas state line. It's all on us. And as you can see, so we are entering into our busy time of the day. Rush hour is very busy for us. We get an enormous amount of calls. As a matter of fact, annually, we're averaging about 400,000 calls for service just out of our communication center.
Is that just Denver?
That's only Denver. So we are at roughly 800,000 to 900,000 calls per year in our entire branch, and we're handling about 400,000 of them. So our people are working really, really hard, and they do a very incredible job. They're so dedicated and professional. But we do have some information for you today. So we really want to help people understand what we're about and what we need from you when you call so that we can help you in the best way possible. Let's start over here. I want to introduce you to one of our supervisors. This is Jesse.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi, Facebook.
What information can you provide us today?
This one. We can't see you, just like you can't see us. None of us have crystal balls. So when you call us, we need to know where you're at. Possibly if you have a milepost or a mile marker. It's those green things on the side of every interstate and highway. They're about every mile. A cross street. If you have an actual address, that would be fantastic. Are you in a parking lot? Which lane are you in? Are you on the shoulder? Remember, we can't see you.
And to reiterate this, try to be specific, because if you say, I've been driving for about 45 minutes outside of Denver, yeah, we have no idea where that is, and good luck. So, you know, one of those little situational awareness things, try that sometime. It really will pay off. Where are we going next, Tina?
So we're going to head over to our call taking section. So we have people that are frantically taking calls from the public and from other 911 centers in the state that are giving us calls for service. So let's head on over here to talk to Robin.
We're gonna try.
Robin's on the phone.
Imagine that. Somebody who has to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, still has to actually work. Why are there 4 monitors, Tina?
So the reason there are 4 monitors is because we have multiple systems that we have to monitor and stay on top of. The 2 monitors right in front of her are our computer-aided dispatch system. So this system is statewide. All 5 of our regional communication centers are on this system. It is the center of our operation. All of the information that we take from the public is entered into that computer system, and that is what triggers calls for service and triggers a response from troopers and other emergency services to your location. So that is the center of everything. Over on the right, you'll see there's another monitor there, and that is our radio monitor. And so we monitor several different channels, radio channels. We have to just keep them organized, and that's where those reside. Over to the left, you'll see she's utilizing some mapping systems to help her with performing her job duties. So
what you're saying, multitasking, probably an important part of your job.
That's right. If you can't do more than one thing at a time, this probably isn't a good job for you. However, if you really enjoy having a lot going on at once, you can do many things at once. You can walk and talk and chew gum at the same time. We want to talk to you because that is the kind of skill set it takes. And oh, by the way, did you know that only 2% of the population can do this job effectively? So the people that we have in here performing these duties are truly the best of the best.
Excellent.
Oh, hello. Look, there's
Hello.
Robin. Look, I have a free second.
For the moment.
Yes.
So what you got going on?
Well, I'm call taking and I'm also on CDOT today. So that means when people call in, they tell us, oh, there's a ladder in the road. I'm telling my guys to go there and pick it up.
So not only 911 and emergency calls, but general maintenance and just about anything going
Just
on with
about
the
anything.
roadway.
Yes, and that is also what I'm here to tell you about hazards.
So why on earth would people call you in for something like that?
Well, being on CDOT, we don't want any crashes going on because there's stuff in the road. So, yeah, give us a call if you see something in the road, maybe what direction it's on, what road, what lane it's in.
So we're going back to knowing where you're at and
Yes.
what's going on
Yes,
as best you
exactly.
can.
There's lots of ladders out there. We want to know where it is so we can pick it up.
Perfect.
And then also, when you are calling, if you're calling in a crash that you just got into or something like that, we want to know if they are a hazard because we don't want other vehicles hitting them too. So if they're on the shoulder, that's great. If they're sticking out, if they're over that white line, let us know because that's going to be important information.
If you're in a crash and you're in the lane of traffic, you can legally move your car out of the lane of traffic.
And
if you
you
can't,
should.
stay in your car, because honestly, you know how many people get pegged stepping out of their car after a crash? Yeah, it's not good. Stay in your car. It's okay. We'll come to you.
Where are we going next, Tina?
All right, let's head on over here and talk to Misty. So Misty's another call taker.
My gosh, this
She
place is
very
huge.
experienced, and we're really happy to have her on swing shift.
Hello.
Hi, Misty. She's only got 3 screens. Aww.
Only because I don't have the radio part that Robin had. So
Yeah, I'm sure
I have
you
the
don't
CWP.
stay busy at all.
No, not at all. But I'd like to talk to you today about location. Like they say in real estate, location, location, location. Because if you know where you are, I can send you help even if I lose your call. I can still send a trooper that way or an ambulance that way, whatever it is you need. And I'm loving it when you know where you are, because that is my favorite thing, to send you help. When you need our help, we are there for you. So we want to be able to know where you're at. So location, location, location.
The more specific, the better.
Yes.
Perfect.
Direction of travel, if you're going northbound, southbound, eastbound, westbound, that helps too.
All right. Imagine that. That's why they actually number highways and put signs up. Go figure.
Yeah, that's really wonderful.
All right. Perfect. Location. Now we know.
Exactly.
Moving on.
So a little bit of advice on location too. For all of you commuters out there who take the same route of travel every day, those little green signs on the side of the highway that are numbered are mileposts. And if you're taking the same route of travel every day, pay attention to those and learn, because if we are able to pinpoint your location to a milepost, we are we are in such a better position to send you help quickly. So we're going to head over here and talk to dispatchers.
That's a really funny thing when people are like, the numbers keep going up, like every 60 seconds when I'm driving. I had no idea that's what it was. Yeah, now you know.
Go down.
Hey, you know what? I'm sorry.
So this is, oh, go ahead.
I'm Bree. I'm a newbie,
Oh, we got a rookie.
a rookie, yes. So I just want to give you guys some tips on reporting aggressive drivers. Some of the main actions we need is it'd be helpful if you guys give us specific driving actions
sorry, that's
or
my
descriptions of
mistake.
the cars, and the license plate would be very helpful.
So I'm assuming you want them to just scream at you that somebody's doing something so horrible and you want something done now.
Yes, pretty much.
Oh,
No,
wow.
it would be
This is why she's a rookie.
exactly. Sorry, guys. Julie.
Hello. Location, first thing for everything. Please give us our location. Stop yelling everything else to us. Plate, description. We need location before we can help you. For aggressive drivers, I have a trooper in here.
Troopers. They always need something.
Don't chase down the vehicles if they are speeding. To get the license plate, it's putting 2 people at risk, or more than 2 people at risk. You're putting everybody at risk and putting 2 aggressive drivers out there. And then keep a safe distance from any aggressive drivers. The location. Give the location.
All right. That actually brings me to a question, Tina.
Yes, sir.
So, you pick up a call. It's an emergency situation. Do you want them screaming information at you as quickly as possible, or what's the best protocol?
So we are very fluent in many languages and many 10 codes. However, when you're in an emergency situation, we understand. Guess what? Time stands still for you. You're feeling frantic, you're panicked, you want help right now, and we get that. Many of us have been in that situation before and understand firsthand what it feels like. However, we are going to have to guide you through many different questions, and they are specifically designed to help us help you. So when we are asking you, what's your location, what's your direction of travel, how many vehicles are involved, and you may be feeling impatient or anxious because you want help to arrive right now, but you just have to trust the process. The reason we're doing that is precisely so we can send you help in the best way possible. When you're screaming at us, we can't help you. And so just letting us ask the questions and then working with us to answer them really, really helps the process. It is so very important. I really can't stress it enough. It's
right.
really important. Super important. Did I mention it's important? Okay.
So basically, you don't have to do any work at all. Just answer questions. It's great. If you can do it honestly, all the much better. Please. That is how help gets there. So slowing down for a second here, you have
Somebody that I would hope you would introduce us to.
So this here is Jefferson. And Jefferson is a very dear friend of ours. He was gifted to us by the Jefferson County Communications Center when we lost Trooper Jamie Jersevix. And it has been a great source of comfort. It's a great symbol of our partnership with Jeffco, and just the knowledge that we're all in this together. We all work as a team, even though we are in different agencies. So he's a very beloved member of our comm center.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Got a possible
Love it.
crash.
All right, where to?
All right, we are going to head over here and let's talk to Susan.
Hi.
Susan?
Hi.
Susan is the happiest dispatcher I've ever met in my life.
People tell me that, but what I want to talk about is. I was hoping I could do this without crying, but.
It's okay.
One moment. So, our troopers, surprisingly, the biggest threat to them is not actually a gunshot, but a car. In our case, we've lost 3 troopers, and pretty much most of it was due to cars not moving over for them. Sadly, this past year we had Trooper Cody Donahue, who we lost. Done. Oh.
This is what happens when we go live.
I know, right?
Life doesn't stop.
But the thing is, like, I think people forget that our troopers are fathers, brothers, sons, mothers, friends. And just moving over, if we could save those lives, I think that's very nice.
Love it.
But I'm gonna turn around now.
Thank you so much, Susan.
No worries.
And today was actually our 1 Charlie 3 when we were working on the move over enforcement. You saw not just our agency, but a whole lot of other agencies out there. And it was it's been a successful day. If we can get that education out there, that's what we're going for, because heaven knows we will never forget. All right.
Amen.
Where to?
Okay, so we're just going to move over one and talk to Tony for just a moment.
Tony was trying to work. Tony doesn't get to work anymore.
All right. My name's Tony. What I'm going to talk to you about today is merging and yielding on the highway. When you're getting onto the highway and you're trying to merge in with all those cars that are going 65 plus miles an hour, it is your responsibility to merge into those positions, those open positions on the highway. So, whenever you see the red yield sign as well, you must yield. Those cars kind of treat it like a stop sign. If there's traffic or there's movement there, you can't move safely into that area without first stopping and yielding to those other vehicles or pedestrians or whatever's there. So that's my conversation for today. My mother would love me for saying this too. Use the zipper method when you're merging into traffic. So every other car, get into construction area and lanes come down into 1 lane from 2 or something like that. Use that zipper method. That's the smartest, the best way to keep traffic flowing properly. So Mom, that was for you.
Shout out to Mom.
My goodness. Do you see what they have to deal with day in and day out? Oh, what does the sign mean when it says yield? It means yield. It's not hard to understand. I promise. You can do this. You remember when you learned this when you were 15? Yeah, here we are, still going over it many, many years later. All right.
All right, we're going to come on over here and see Sam.
I thought it was Pam.
It's not Pam. My name's not Pam.
I think I made a mistake.
Hello. Hold on. You guys got me? I'm going to talk to you about vehicles today. How many? Are they blocking? What color are they? Are they red? Are they cream colored? What color are they? Descriptions are good. We don't necessarily need everything. We don't need a year, but is it a car? Is it a truck? Is it a minivan? Is it a semi? Is it an SUV? That's very helpful. Are they drivable? Can they be moved out of traffic? It's a big thing. That's a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know that it's state law that you need to move your vehicles from traffic.
So I don't care if you want to keep your vehicle there until law enforcement gets there. If it's drivable, move it. And to the right shoulder is helpful. I think
That's perfect.
Who's that car again?
I'm going to take a second. I'm going to combine some of these things. Because remember, we talked about aggressive driving, and we talked about location, and now we're talking about vehicles. Let's combine those, because one of my favorite things that I ever heard working out on the road is when somebody calls in an aggressive driver and says, there's a car, it's white, and it's driving badly. Okay, that's it? That's it. We've got a white car that we're looking for that's driving badly. That narrows it down. I'm sure we can find the white car driving badly. So the more information you have when you call in, the better. Thank you for that. Right.
All right. So that kind of wraps up the center. It's not really complicated. We take calls, we send calls over to our dispatchers, we dispatch the calls. So it can be a really fluid process, and you all are a great partner for us in making that happen by giving us good information and knowing your location. So I do want to talk to you a little bit about the job. So you may or may not know, but we are looking for a few good people right now. And if this spoke to you, if what we were talking about piqued your interest, we really want to hear from you. It doesn't take a lot. You don't need a college degree to be a dispatcher. We train you, we pay you to train you. And we give you all the tools you need to be successful in this job. And you've met a lot of really great people today. So everyone in here is completely committed to what they do. They're passionate. They're here because they want to save your life. They want to save the life of your family members. They want to keep us all safe. They really believe in their jobs. They love their troopers. They take great care of them. And I just can't think of a better organization to be a part of than this one right here and the people that I get to work with. So an amazing team. But if you're interested, what I'd like you to do is go to cspwelcometothefamily.com. And it gives you a lot of information about the many employment opportunities in our organization. Currently, the Denver Communications Center is accepting applications for communication interns and technicians. And I was going to loop one more person in here to give you some qualifications, but it looks like he's a little busy right now. So I'll just tell you about it. So be 18 years of age, have a high school diploma or GED, be a Colorado resident, speak fluent English, have a clear speaking voice, be able to pass our background test, and the biggest thing is that we are 24/7, 365. No matter what's going on in the world around us, we don't close. The show goes on. And so we need people who are committed to working nights and weekends, all hours of the day. That's a part of the job. So bear that in mind. But this is a great place to be a part of, and we really want those of you who have that skill set and that desire, talk to us. Let us get to know you. We really want to meet you.
Thank you so much, team.
All right, I'm going to sign off here as well. I told you at the beginning, these guys are the voices of angels. You all are agreeing with me. These are the true first responders. So if you're interested, you can apply with us, but you can apply with them. Either way, it's going to be a rewarding career. As always, thanks for watching, and be safe.